it's not absolutely. What does it sound like?
10 seconds remaining.
It sounds like you're just a straight up robot, like literal robot.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know if it's my side or your side. I don't know. I have to turn the stream on to make sure.
All right. Maybe we can check that out in a second. It doesn't look like things are that weird.
Radiant
Audio
team back.
codec. I think it should be fine.
Let me just restart real fast my Discord and see if it fixes it. Hold on.
All right, sounds good. God, I hope that is not a problem. That would be really, really bad.
Dire team back.
Well, nonetheless, while we're waiting for Andy to get back into it, we've got a great day of Dota 2 for all you fine folks. It is going to be starting off today with Navi versus MEGA-LADA, and then afterwards, we got another matchup, which is going to be Gambit versus Effect. That one should be really good also. And then following up, the winner of this is going to play against another team that I'm currently forgot. Has it sounded any better now?
Nope, sounds exactly the same. And I just checked on the, obviously the stream's got some delay on it, but the music doesn't sound weird to me, and nothing else sounds weird, so I don't know what's going on. I think I can, passively do this, but I don't know if it's, playing through the stream yet.
Yeah, let's see. God, that's really weird. I hope that it's not, going out to stream. It is that 2-minute delay. Really bad.
Okay, yeah, it's on the stream too. It's 100% your microphone. I just heard it.
Oh, shit. Alright. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and fix this. Let me do a quick little reset, and hopefully this sounds better. God damn. I don't know what happened. Alright, yeah, everybody's freaking out. What is the problem?
10 seconds remaining.
It's interesting too because this was not an issue just earlier today.
5 seconds
earlier
remaining.
yesterday, right?
Oh yeah, you sounded great yesterday and the day before. I don't know what changed. I don't know if any tech crew are around at this point to take a look at it, but it's not great.
Radiant team pick.
Well, why don't you just talk about things while I try and fix this? Does that sound good?
Yeah, I can fill a little bit of the space while we get the investigation underway. All right, so let's see. We got Navi taking on MEGA-LADA Esports here. I'll be solo commentating and talking a little bit about the draft while we wait for Lyrical to get his side sorted out. But yeah, yesterday Navi actually lost in a 2-1 to Team SM. I don't actually know how to pronounce the name, so I'm not going to try. It was not really the best showing from Navi overall. I think that their drafts were pretty alright, but it just seemed like maybe, I don't know if they were overconfident, but they definitely seemed to overextend. Their wording wasn't really the greatest, and they seemed to run into some struggles. But again, this is an elimination match. It's a best of 3, and they're going up against MEGA-LADA. If you don't recognize any of the players, some of them, Artes, I believe, played for Hellraisers for some point. Fervian, I think he played for Effect and Elements Pro Gaming as well. So this is, I think, a relatively new team. I haven't really gotten a chance to see too much of what they play, but given their draft so far, I haven't seen really anything too crazy outside of maybe just the Warlocks. So more or less, it's just kind of more of the same. The Gyro, definitely a strong opening. See a lot of the other CIS teams actually first phase that hero, just ban it out completely. And then Navi, they're loving their Sand King, they're loving their Disruptor, and with a tiny pick, it's most likely just going to be a general tiny, and then we're probably just going to see the LeBron, I think, plays the Sand King for that team. So as far as the picks go, like I said, the only thing that really stands out so far is the Warlock. Don't really see him a whole heck of a lot. He is exceptionally strong in dual lane situations when the other support is like a Disruptor, for example. He's not really good at trading, just because Shadow Word is a very powerful utility to keep yourself alive. It does some of the most damage in the game for a level 1 spell, does even more than Thunderstrike, I believe. And then you have the heal effect too, so you can walk to lane potentially with a Warlock Omni Knight. It's a very strong dual lane. You can also just have maybe a little bit easier of a safe lane as well if you want to try to zone the Tiny. Hero has 0 base armor, and with Shadow Word and just some auto attacks, you could probably zone him quite easily. So Navi going back for the Lycan, classic counter to Gyrocopter. Doesn't really like heroes that run at you super fast.
Am I still a robot?
Oh yeah, you should just you gotta find some help, dude. You gotta go and find someone who knows what the heck's wrong, So yeah, I'll tell you when it's fixed, because I can still like randomly hear you saying stuff, or like I don't know if it's background noise or what, but sometimes I can still hear like the reverb. But yeah. Anyway, so Lycan comes out really good against pretty much all of MEGA-LADA right now. They don't have a whole lot of hard lockdown. It's great against Gyro. It's good against Omni and Warlock, because even during Shapeshift, you can't use Upheaval or the not Repel. What the heck is it called? I can't actually remember the name of it. Degen, that's what it's called. Yeah, Degen Aura doesn't actually slow during Shapeshift, so you can pretty much just run around and do whatever you want. Okay, so more team fight coming out here from MEGA-LADA. This looks like kind of a 5-man, all-any type of thing. You got your GA, your Rock, your Overgrowth, Gyrocopter ulti as well with the call down and some flak. Some pretty insanely good team fight coming in for MEGA-LADA, but I think that they also actually have pretty decent lanes. They got the tree armor. They have Warlock heal. I'm not sure where the tree is going to be going just yet, but either way, I think the Tiny is probably going to suffer in the offlane no matter what, just because of the fact that you have two exceptionally good zoning heroes, especially against a melee offlane. Like, Tree's going to just beat down anyone. Doesn't really matter who it is. And Warlock is pretty much the same. So I think pretty stable lanes here from MEGA-LADA. Navi is still looking for a mid, and MEGA-LADA looking for a mid as well. Who gets overall last pick? All right, so it's Navi. Navi obviously banning out the Invoker and Queen due to the fact that they know that both teams have to pick a mid. And now MEGA-LADA get the ban before Navi picks. So what do they want to get rid of? What do Navi not have right now? They got good push. They got pretty good catch and punish potential with the Disruptor and the Sand King. They have decent initiation. Looks like they're going to ban out Dendy's Viper. He's been playing that the last couple of days. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch, I want to say at least once a series or maybe even 2 times Dendy has been playing on the Viper. All right, now MEGA-LADA going to pick something pretty ambiguous. Okay, not ambiguous at all, actually. Wait, so that means Gyro mid, Spectre safe lane. Okay, this makes sense then, because the Warlock and the Tree are definitely those heroes that they kind of enable a core hero to stay in lane. And I was kind of thinking about it when I saw the Warlock just picked up straight away on the 3rd pick, that they would probably have some kind of weak offlaner. I wasn't sure if they wanted to pick like a Spectre, or I don't think Anti-Mage is like super great here, but clearly there's been a little bit of a shift in Navi's lineup as well, because Dendy is going to be playing the Tiny as they last pick a General Darkseer. So they are meeting this kind of tri-lane safe lane between the Tree and Protector, the Warlock, and the Spectre with just Force. So I'm assuming they're going to send General and LeBron bottom, because it's double melee, like a melee Spectre, and then obviously Treant's melee against an Ion Shell and potentially a Sand King sounds pretty devastating. Alternatively, they could also just send the... yeah, no, they could probably do that, because I don't see the Omni Knight really pressuring the Lycan Disruptor lane. Anyway, game 1, Navi versus MEGA-LADA about to come underway right now. This is a solo cast for now, until Lyrical fixes his microphone and all that stuff. So forgive me, I'm not like the play-by-play caster that he is. I'm not quite up to snuff, but I'll do my best for you guys. Also, I'm not sure if he's even doing the camera right now.
Hello? Is it
hello?
better?
Oh god, it's fixed. You've done it.
I did? It's fixed?
I don't know what you did, but it worked.
Oh god, it's 4 in the morning and I have like no technical know-how at all in this, so I was just like unplugging shit and doing whatever would work. Thank goodness. Oh, Andy, I've never been that afraid.
I don't know what happened, dude. It sounded like it was bad. I don't even know how to describe the sound. It was like you were talking to me like through a wormhole and the future at the same time. I don't know that much about like I don't know much about time travel, but you definitely sounded from the future.
Wonderful. Well, that's great. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but we're fixed now. And apparently it's a game of Dota 2. I see there's a tree, there's a Spectre. What the hell happened in the draft?
Yeah, so MEGA-LADA are doing some real like team fight oriented drafting here. They have 5 exceptionally good R buttons on their team, and they also have a Spectre. But if you look at the Warlock and the Tree, they have good heroes at like stabilizing the lane. And you can see they want to dodge. I was talking about potentially there would be a dual lane with General and the Sand King, just because I think it's really strong against the lane that they have. But I don't think that MEGA-LADA want to match up against that DS. They're trying to avoid it kind of at all costs. Unless, of course, it's solo. If it's a solo DS, then I don't care. But if it's more than one hero, I think it could pose some problems.
Well, and we might end up seeing that Sand King rotate down there later on as well. We've been seeing actually a little bit more Tree, I feel like. I saw one the other day that Vegas Squadron ran, and they ran it like Tranquils into Meteor Hammer, and then afterwards went back for a Blink, and it was like really cool. Got so much disable there, like double root, and then you can usually hit the Meteor Hammer afterwards. It's nice.
Yeah, I don't see him too often, but I have seen that build before, and pub games a lot too in some competitive matches, and it definitely does some work. My concern about like the kind of draft right now that MEGA-LADA has is Navi are not really cooldown based at all. It's just a bunch of heroes that can run at you. Right. So if you start using your R buttons and it's not successful, then you're gonna have some real big issues. Like Artest has already decided that he doesn't even want to be in that lane anymore. He just TPs away. Yeah. So they're trying to get like whatever good lane they can. Instead of it being the DS and the Sanking, it looks like it's gonna end up being the Sanking and a Tiny. And either way, like even with the Tree and Protector and the Warlock, it's still a Spectre lane. Like this hero is very easy to bully.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite heroes to play because it always feels so cool when you get like all those late game items. But this early game is certainly going to hurt. And well, in the meantime, down bottom, General trying his best to bully away. There's a lot of damage going back his way. Fervian hits mighty hard, and also got to deal with the purification. So this one playing it very fast and loose. General almost ends up going down there, but so too does Orbit.
Yeah, I think he knows his limits fairly well, especially in a lane like this. Like DS is great because he has 7 base armor. Very tanky hero to melee damage, especially since he gets to start with a Stout Shield, and even like especially against other melee that's not Sanking. Oh, is he getting punched to death? No, he's fine. Yeah, all right, there we go. I was gonna say he might be getting punched down here by Fervian, but yeah, anything that's not like a Monkey King or a Sand King or Ursa and stuff, and you got no problems against melee as DS.
Well, and now you've got LeBron, who's going to be able to get a nice little bit of extra damage here onto the Warlock after taking away the Bounty Rune. Tree gets both of the ones bottom. And again, Lil is going to try and punish, sees if he can get in range. They actually don't have a glimpse, but it doesn't matter. PSM is going to go down. And now Navi can maybe even think about cutting the wave. It might be a little bit too scary with the Fatal Bonds on him.
I mean, getting a kill and pressuring the Spectre is pretty much all they want to do. Looks like MEGA-LADA have finally decided that it's time for the full tri-lane. So we're going to see a 3v3. And this is definitely going to favor Navi, like no question. They have legitimate kill potential. And even with just 2 heroes, they still can get kills, as we saw. Like, didn't require all 3 of them to get that first blood in. LeBron taking some harass.
Fatal Bonds again. It is going to be, like you said, a lot of pressure there. Artez, they're turning around to try and help out their Warlock a little bit, see if they can find some type of a return. But at the same time, Spectre kind of just wants to get a little bit of space to farm. And it does look like he'll get a couple of CS there, but it comes at the cost of the Warlock's life. And honestly, I don't know if there's anything they could do anyways. And Fervian also in trouble, possibly going to go down as well. So they lose 2 heroes for the price of like 2 CS for Artez. That feels terrible.
Yeah, this is why you don't really see Spectre that much. Any other like common safe laner, whether it be like a Jug or maybe even the Gyro was there, anything really that can just deal damage and pose some kind of a threat, and you don't really see Navi being able to do the same things, right? Yeah. But they do love their Tiny, they do love their Sand King. And this is definitely something that if you even do a tiny bit of research, you're going to know you're probably playing against. So right. I can't imagine that they didn't know about these heroes. I think they just assumed that this kind of strategy would work.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate that this is going to be the start. I guess their thought is like, all right, we're going to lose the lane pretty hard, but maybe afterwards we can get back into it. Like you said, with those big teamfight ultimates. And, you know, that is something that can eventually maybe happen, but it's going to be a rotation towards mid now as well. Gyrocopter just trying to keep this creep wave in a good position for himself. Does not want to get roamed on.
It's a little bit weird. You don't see the Gyro versus Lycan mid very often, you know. But it's just obviously a byproduct of the Spectre and both teams trying to prioritize that hero in a different manner. Like Navi want to shut it down, and obviously MEGA-LADA wanted to get some farm. Nice warding here also by Lil. It's 1 deep behind the tier 1 tower, just so they can keep Crystallized just that much safer.
Well, you do see again the Spectre just trying to farm up. They are rotating back in another 2 heroes, but without Lil. I mean, like you said, there's still kill potential here if they're not careful. Is there any chance that MEGA-LADA could try and make something happen against either of these heroes also?
They need the Omni to TP. Like, it sounds weird, but you actually need the purification damage to reliably get kills in this game. And I'm not entirely sure if Orbit's going to be doing that. Like right now, he's doing pretty good in his lane. He's actually got the highest net worth on his team. So I don't know if he necessarily wants to like be TPing away from a lane he's winning just to get the Spectre potentially a kill. And it's still going to be hard because the Warlock doesn't offer any real disable. He doesn't even have upheaval skill. So you're hoping that like a Nature's Guy's hit and a Leech Seed with a Purification and a Dagger is going to be enough. And you know, Tiny's not a squishy hero by any means to magic damage. He's got a lot of raw health.
Yeah. And I do like that, you know, he's coming in and he's contesting for these stacks to make sure they don't just get away with it scot-free on the Omni Knight. Him and the Gyrocopter are definitely going to need to be the saving grace. And I guess that's something to be considered, is that they're losing top lane. The other lanes, it's like sort of a loss, but it's not terrible. Like Omni is objectively winning his lane.
Oh, he's definitely winning his lane, 100%. Like, the Gyro's losing mid, but the cool thing about Gyro is that once he hits 6, he's going to have cooldown. So, like, either him or the Omni TP top, and they can definitely get some kills. The damage is there. It's just a matter of abusing, like, Navi's aggression. We saw a couple of tower dives. If that happens again, and the Gyro and the Omni are, like, paying attention and TP on time, there's a very good chance that it can get turned on them.
We'll have to watch for that. I guess also Lycan 6 could be another time when they try and go for something, although he's just going to take this Helm of the Dominator. Takes the Banisher, actually. So does have a Purge creep. We'll see if he tries to make something happen with that as the Burrow Strike to turn it around here. Onto the tree. They're trying to go now onto Dendi, and well, LeBron actually is going to be the one that ends up almost falling down low. Artez able to find that kill there with them, and now Dendi, if he's not careful, can take something as well. That Orbit ends up going down bottom. And a little bit of life being felt there by MEGA-LADA.
It's still really hard to get that kill, and in the meantime, they manage to secure the Sand King, but they lose the Omni in the process. So because the commitment on bottom lane, you know, MEGA-LADA know that they can go in, right. And it took a lot of effort to kill that freaking Sand King, and he is substantially easier to kill than the Tiny at this stage in the game, so... And this is all... Like, looking at the CS and the net worth, like, all of Navi's lanes now are winning. Like, the Omni was doing pretty much the best on his team for a short stint, but as soon as he dies the one time, now it's looking like, all right, your Gyro needs to start thinking about maybe he wants to leave his lane. You gotta do something, right? You can't just keep losing all 3 of your lanes. The rotation needs to happen.
They scan as well. Gyro realizes that the Sand King is over there. That would have been tragic if they end up losing the Gyro as well. But Dendi, meantime, almost goes down there. A good kinetic field is going to keep him alive. With that, Lil is just going to keep on throwing out this harassment.
Oh, Lil killed him, I think. Oh, that was really close. Jesus. They were still Fatal Bonds, and he got hit by a Shadow Word.
Very spooky.
Or not a Shadow Word, sorry. The Warlock was auto-attacking the creeps.
Okay.
Or auto-attacking Lil, sorry. Jesus. Alright, you know what?
It's early or late.
It's... No, I'm actually fine. I don't know what's wrong with my brain right now. There's some lag going on.
Illusion.
Fair enough. So 8 minutes in, it's 2,000 net worth lead. Fairly substantial, and they're starting to pressure for this tier 1 tower in the mid lane as well. As Gyrocopter trying to clear through the creep wave, but these guys are very tanky and hard to bring down. They're just going to end up losing this tier 1 tower.
There's not really, like... The tree's not 6. They have no Haunt. They have no Rock. There's a point in time in Dota where if you pick a team that is this heavily reliant on ultimates, that you're gonna not have them.
Yeah.
And during that time, Navi's team is wildly better than yours, especially with a safe laner like a Spectre who just doesn't really offer like any TP reaction potential at all.
Right.
So, yeah, the 6s are necessary. Glimpse on top. This is a dead Spectre, I think.
Artez nowhere left to go. That Burrow strikes through, and they're even bringing in the Wolf as well, so they might end up eating up more of these heroes. Crystallize takes down another, and he's thinking about going here for the Gyrocopter. They're burning through a lot of that, and he's going to be able to walk away. The toss, the Burrow strike forward. They're trying to bring in the Omni to salvage the situation. Draw to repel now onto the Gyro, and it looks like with that, I mean, they're showing no respect at all right now and getting kills.
Yeah, they're not. There's nothing to be scared of yet. Yeah. Like, even though... Okay, so they have the call down. They have the Omni Purification, which is a fair amount of damage. However, starting the fight and getting an initiation in a way where you can get that damage out is the problem. Like, how do you take a team fight against Navi when you have no lockdown? It's very easy to just walk away from MEGA-LADA's lineup until the tree has like a a Blink Dagger or something in Overgrowth. So there's a large gap in where this team just doesn't really function, and Navi are just abusing it.
Well, let's see if they can get something here onto LeBron. The homing missile is going to come out. Nobody is really in the area to help out LeBron for the moment. He looks like he is going to fall. So they managed to get a kill there. Level 6 on Spectre.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I mean, it's not worth like a ton, but a kill's a kill. I wonder if the Spectre is going to go for the earn this game. Like, I think they need to be hyperactive as soon as the Rock and the Overgrowth are online. If you don't get a ton of work in with these ultimates, this game is going to go real south real fast. And speaking of Artez, my boy,
ooh,
he's okay.
Right. They turn it. Omni helps somebody out, and now trying to chase down Lil. Nowhere left to go for him. He does have a kinetic field back up again, and actually thinking about turning and fighting this one possibly. Is getting in position with General, and Artez, good decision making, able to hide off to the side. They're going to go for the haunt, and Glimpse to kill off the illusion. Nicely played there as well. Artez, he's living life on a wire right now, and is going to need to back out. They actually popped the Guardian Angel for that as well. So Haunt GA down, and no kills.
That was a very interesting exchange. That's like the battle of the no stun. That's what happens. Everyone runs around like a madman casting all their spells, and then you're like, oh, we actually can't get a kill because neither one of our sides can stop you from running away.
Want to mention as well for everybody out there that my voice is going to be muted for this game in client because of the magical wizardry I had to do to make it not sound like garbage. But I'll be back again in the next one, so it shouldn't be an issue. Apologize for that, everybody, but you can just watch and listen to our voice here on Twitch. It's the best.
It's just nice to have you back, man. That's important. Artez, he's going to be dropping again here in the bottom lane. He's picked off by the Tiny, who also, Dendy's got 2,500 gold. That's his Blink Dagger. Things just keep on snowballing here for Navi.
So, you talk sometimes about, like, you know, late game dynamics and all that stuff. Obviously, if you get to the late game for MEGA-LADA's team, it's scary if you're a Navi fan. But thinking about it, like, how much do they need to get done? Like, all tier 2 towers by 25 minutes, something like that?
I think that putting a timer on like what towers you need is kind of arbitrary in Dota, because it really depends on the map control. Oh my, how did he not die to that?
That's a lot of damage. He ends up living just barely. Got the Fatal Bonds off as well, and now General taking a lot of this damage as well. They're starting to kill off Lil. This is a pretty decent exchange. MEGA-LADA.
Yeah, they all into that Warlock to try to get the kill. I think he got tree armored and like Purification at the same time. So it's just like completely negated the stun toss damage coming in from Navi. A nice little bit of a turnaround there. But in reality, they only get a support kill. The big thing that they have to keep in mind now as Navi is that the ultimates are now available. So that the little stint in the game, first like 12, 13 minutes where there wasn't really anything to be super scared of, now all those buttons are online.
And General underneath the tower. It looks like they're going to try and go for a smoke play, and if they fight into all those ultimates, this could be a scary time. They're diving for General now, going to bring in a TP as well as Dendy shows up, wants to turn this one. He's just going to get eliminated as well, so 2 down at the start of this. And now the rest of the heroes coming in as well. LeBron does have Burrow Strike, looking for an opening here. He ends up Burrow Striking the Warlock. They still have Rock. They got to be so careful there. They turn around and drop it now onto Lil, ensuring their escape. EMS is going to die as the Gyro is getting ran down as well. Repel not going to be able to keep him alive for now, I don't think, is going to try and pull him back in. The Burrow Strike's there. Purification, though, that might be enough. Center, they don't have it. And Crystallize ends up with a double kill, but they are still making this work. MEGA-LADA lose 2, but they're taking big kills.
I mean, it feels kind of bad, though, because Crystallize walks away from that fight with 2 kills. They dropped everything, basically, besides the GA. Like, that was Haunt, Overgrowth, and Rock. And what, they killed
Dendy.
2 heroes? Yeah, Dendy, General, and LeBron, I guess, were the ones who died. So, I mean, it wasn't completely awful, but it's not really enough. Okay. Navi are not incredibly deterred by that team fight, and they might lose the Omni here, too.
Oh, God, just running at him. Pervian is in the area, though, and walking over. He's going to try and turn this. General is just going to be surged away.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'm with you, absolutely. It doesn't feel great, but To me, at least, it feels better than it did a couple minutes ago.
Well, yeah, anytime you have this kind of timing lineup, when you hit your timing, it's always going to feel a little bit better.
All right.
But it really depends on what the next couple of uses of their ultimates can really accomplish, because the Spectre is actually just trying to go for the Radiance, like straight after Vit Booster, which I kind of get where he's coming from with that, but it is super ambitious. Like, how many times are you going to get opportunities to really farm in this game? Because Navi do not really want to just let you just get your side lane push on. He's already being pressured. Like, his ward's going to scout out LeBron, so obviously he's going to back, but this is kind of the problem, is you got to commit tons of heroes to stop just even a Sand King from pressuring your Spectre, and that's no bueno. You need to be able to do something.
Yeah, I feel you. It hurts, and you know, he has picked up like the little things you mentioned, the Aquila, the Vit Booster. Maybe he thinks that he can fight with just those enough, but I kind of agree. This is going to be a tough one for them going forward, and there's all this vision too in the areas that he might want to farm. So if they don't see him over there to the side, they know that he's going to be in the other area. They are going to try and go now for this kill onto LeBron. They have the overgrowth available if they want to use it, but a little bit too afraid as they see the rest of Navi moving into the area. Missile onto Dendi, and that buys space for Spectre to farm up this way.
But yeah, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like, the amount of heroes that they have to sit in a lane just to ensure that the Spectre can hit creeps is kind of where the problem lies. Like, sure, the Omni is doing fairly well. He's got his drums phase, and he's working his way towards the duels, and that's fine. But what'll end up happening eventually is that they're gonna get splitted pretty hard, and when that happens against a team like this that realistically doesn't have that much catch until Tree has Blink, you're not really gonna get the team fight, you know. So you lose your lanes, and then you have your ultimates available, and you're like, okay, let's fight. And maybe you get 2 or 3 fights with your ultimates, and then what eventually happens is you can't get the fights anymore because you're always having to worry about pushing waves.
Oh god, and then the Lycan Wolves with the Ion Shell on them, just chasing around and messing with this gyrocopter. You can't even farm comfortably right now. This feels awful. So, continued aggression now as General is in the area. They are underneath an observer ward, though. Need to be a little bit careful. That looks like they know their limits, and as you said, 4 heroes going together in a lane. That means Spectre's all alone top, where might run into pressure.
I mean, look at him. He's sitting in the friggin' trees, Gabe. He's already pressured. All right, here we go. Here's the Haunt.
Okay, this is not bad. Is they're going to be able to find a kill onto Darkseer, pick it up with the gyrocopter, but then again, as you said, pressuring top lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, this is something that I think Navi do very well, and I think it's something that even teams who change rosters a lot can adapt to very quickly as a style of split push, because you just understand like how to move around the game from playing a lot of pubs. Yeah. You're just like, okay, well, I know that these heroes want to fight us as 5, ideally, so let's just not give him the fight. That's like Dota 101, right? And I think that's something that, especially because of the heroes that they play too, it kind of lends itself to that playstyle.
Yeah. Well, and I like what we saw there as well. Like, there's little things that they can do to try and deal with it. Navi also have like the Disruptor, which is so good at punishing, like coming back to defend a split push. But they're recognizing on a MEGA-LADA where you see them like sit in the trees for a second before they cast Fatal Bonds, and then when they go for the glimpse, it doesn't connect, and send him back to where he was at. But the macro picture is certainly hurting, and trying to get set up here. LeBron thinking about an epicenter, but not going to go for it yet.
This is kind of an awkward fight for Navi, though. They don't really have vision established in the area, and MEGA-LADA actually do have wards. So, like, Navi just scanned, like, in the tree and missed somehow. I'm not sure how that didn't hit Fervian, or maybe it did for, like, a second and he walked out, but, like, position advantage and vision in this area is not great for Navi.
They're watching forward. They want to find LeBron and keep eyes on him here, and Fervian, we'll see if they want to commit onto this. They do have no Haunt, though, which makes it much less palatable.
Yeah, they're just trying to brute force it because they know that they have a lead right now. General, he doesn't have his mech yet, man. I think they should just wait 100 minutes.
Oh, wait, they cancel this, though. No, he didn't cancel it! They end up getting the epicenter off, but the turnaround is still going to be there with the rock, and now the is already dead, though. And the overgrowth, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. They're doing a lot of damage here with the gyrocopter. Crystallize almost ends up going down, but is alive on 100 HP. And now with Spectre showing up, wanting to clean up. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. Dendi forced down to the low ground. They want to get that kill. LeBron, they end up tossing him back to the Wolves. But it is still going to end up being only 1 kill, and maybe not even that. LeBron has another blink up in a second. The Burrow Strike trying to get away. They spot him. Doesn't have mana for the TP, so he ends up going down here.
That is a feels bad toss. That was just a straight up grief. I mean, obviously, I don't think he meant to toss him like that, but that's a rough one. I thought they were going to wait because General was like 100 gold away from mech, but they are just feeling themselves again. They're super confident, so they just go for the play. And, you know, in the past couple of matches that we've seen them, they do this a lot. They go for a push or they go for, like, some kind of play, and it looks really weird. Like, for example, they had no vision. The Darkseer had a lot of, or it was really close to mech and just didn't have it, and they're just going in anyway. And that's the kind of stuff that I think better teams are going to just crush them for doing that.
Right.
But, you know, obviously MEGA-LADA picked an interesting lineup that doesn't really have a whole lot of firepower outside of their R buttons, so I think they can get away with it in games like this.
Yeah. Well, and now you have a Han available, but all these other ultimates are still on cooldown, and it's going to be a lot harder for them to come and try and contest for this Roche, even if they knew what was going on. Radiance timer, we've still got a little ways to go before we even get to the Relic. And this feels like it's a Roche that's going to take down the rest of these tier 2s.
Yeah, this is looking to be the kind of stride that Navi are hitting here. As soon as Crystallize gets out his BKB, it's gonna be a rough go. The tree basically, like, he wants to save Overgrowth for the Lycan, but he also, I don't know if he can, you know, because they're going to be taking so much damage, and Navi are just going to be running at you full bore, that after the BKB is when you want it. Oh, dear God.
Avatos, he's just done. They do get out of the Fatal Bombs on some of them, which is going to do a nice little chunk of damage, but with Gyro dead for 50, there's nothing that's going to stop them from really going high ground. That just can't happen.
I mean, the lead is just enormous right now for Navi.
Yeah.
They played a fast game, and when you refer to a lineup as being slow, that's basically what MEGA-LADA have picked, because their heroes just don't function that well in the early mid game, and if you don't have ultimates, you can't really do much. So when you draft a team, you ideally want, you know, playmaking heroes, some hero that benefits from farm, the capability of hitting towers. You want a good mixture of that. But MEGA-LADA have pretty much picked like this, almost like a 4 protect 1 with a Spectre, because 3 of the heroes on their team are basically like supplementing a core, and then you have a Gyro who's like your damage and kind of your AoE team fight, but they have very poor pushing power. Like, they haven't taken a single tower right now, and their lanes are kind of weak. Yeah. So this is like in my opinion, it's a clear out draft from Navi, and obviously Navi are a bit more experienced in just the game in general. But yeah, this one looks to be about in the bag.
Radiant still 1,200 gold away, and the pressure on high ground, it's not going to wait for that. They're going to need to mount some type of miracle defense here. Spectre still down bottom, trying to farm this up, but if they can somehow hold out for that, does that change the dynamic of the fight at all?
I don't know, honestly. I think it might just be too much. Yeah. Just the sheer, like, it's a 12k net worth lead in 23 minutes, man. That's yeah. Nuts. That is a substantial gold lead. And Aegis, I guess they don't even really have to wait for Crystallized BKB because he does have the second life, but they can if they want. Like, there's nothing really stopping them.
Necro books pop. There's going to be the call down right at the start. They're popping the ultimate as well for Crystallized to run away. And with the missile hitting, again, they're holding their high ground. They're buying time. If there's one thing that this lineup does, I guess, pretty fairly well, it's holding high ground.
Yeah, I mean, they can heal up the towers and stuff, which is nice. The problem is they haven't really been able to utilize one of the best parts of Treant Protector, which is, you know, you repel a push, and then you just heal the tower back up. So every single time the team comes back, they have to redo that damage, more or less. And the problem with the lineup they're having right now is they don't actually have a way of defending the towers. They just straight up lose them on the first push. Yeah. And that sucks because you're Tree and you have this living armor and you're going, okay, well, I'm going to put it on this tower and it's going to last 1 more second and then it's dead. Yeah. So when it's like one big push, Treant is not really that effective.
Well, he gets 2 more seconds now because he got the +2 living armor block instances. What do you think of that?
I mean, it's something. it's silver linings, man. You know, we're looking for it. We're trying to find these loopholes. Maybe they can find some crazy team fight.
Yeah.
But this is a thing too about Warlock, is that as wild as it sounds, he's probably one of the best heroes at getting kills from behind when you have a good amount of AoE damage.
Right.
Like if you imagine a good call down with some flash shots, we've already seen how much damage it can do. Just imagine if the Spectre is able to secure a Radiance before the next fight.
Yeah.
You know, that'll be the point in which we see like kind of the potential of what their lineup can do. The issue is that they already lost so much that the potential is not really like enough anymore. But it'll be a lot closer for sure.
So what do you think of the level 10 talent then, him taking the cast range over the Fatal Bond's damage?
I think that he's really scared that he's just going to die because there's a Blink Force, Sand King, a Disruptor, and a Tiny with a Blink as well. Not to mention the Lycan who pretty much runs at him in Shapeshift and all that kind of stuff. So like the Fatal Bond's damage is great, but you got to be able to get your spells off.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just going to die instantly to pretty much any of their heroes, really.
I'm with you. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to think about is like getting it off rather than going for like the all-in, making it amazing. It's already going to be super good with what they got. Well, everybody's back in the game. It's only 19 kills, but it is 11,000 net worth lead. And Navi's still trying to figure out a way to break this out of the high ground. I guess, what's the secret to making it work for them? What's the big play that they want to go for? Because they already have the Aegis.
I think the big play is just get Crystallized as BKB.
All right.
And to be honest, again, this is another situation where you control the map, and it doesn't matter how long the game goes. Like, you can have 2 lanes push to the enemy's base for like 20 minutes, and you're farming their whole jungle, you're farming 2 or 3 lanes at the same time, and they're eventually just going to get like asphyxiated. They're not going to get enough net worth to be able to stop you, and you can just go high ground with superior itemization. It just really depends on if Navi want to end the game or not. Now, they did buy a mech on the Darkseer, so I'm kind of leaning towards them ending the game sooner rather than later. Because otherwise, why do you pick DS? Like, that hero carries aura items and farms very fast and usually has a strong laning phase. So you pick him so you can buy these teamfight-oriented items and go win the game. Or you also pick him with, like, wombo combos, which they kind of have 2 of. So he fits very well into the lineup that Navi have, and it kind of makes me think that they want to end it. Good blink away there. Reveals the smoke as well.
Fortunate for being not able to get within range to find anything. And in fact, LeBron breaks a second one. And it's going to blink out. So both of these heroes are able to escape from trouble. And just like that, any hope of trying to break out of the base is going to be at least slowed down a little bit. They are getting a little bit of farm here over to the side, but it's just this one little jungle.
Hey man, this is the first time in like 5 minutes they've been able to walk outside. It's like Navi have just said that you guys are grounded. You got to stay in your base for the rest of the game. Can't leave. But no, it's good to be able to get out of it because not only does it allow you to farm, but you can see they've established some vision too.
Yeah.
And the vision will allow them to feel safe about approaching different lanes. Like Artes is continually staying top. He's making his way towards the Mantis Tower right now. And with the completed Radiance and the VIP booster, he hits 15. He's going to get his... I think he probably just goes stats in this game. Sometimes you get the dagger talent if you're ahead, but in this game he definitely needs just that like pure survivability to get that dispersion damage and make sure the Radiance can do the most.
As much as possible. And this is a hero that's like quite good. I think the talents for... I don't know. Some people say not, but all of the stats that you get and then the plus 8% dispersion is always super solid.
Spectre's talents are some of the best talents in the game.
Okay.
Like, absolutely, they are insane. All of them are good. The problem is, you're still a Spectre.
Yeah.
You can't lane. That is the problem, is this patch is so predicated upon laning. If you can't lane, it makes the game crazy hard.
Yeah, you need to be careful. He might end up getting glimpsed. They're going to pull him back in. Static Storm down, and he is in some trouble. Nobody nearby. Oh, excuse me. The Omni Knight's there, and they're able to find him. Thought that was a creep. Now, maybe a turnaround? Lil slowed up for the moment. They've already used Static Storm, and with Dendi showing up as well, this might be too much for him to deal with. They're able to take down the Omni.
I mean, he wanted that kill so bad. That boy was thirsty. He's like, oh my god, please, I just want to do something. I've been sitting in my base the entire game. Yeah. But yeah, this is... You can see that the net worth is still climbing in favor of Navi, and this is kind of what I was saying, is that if they can't get out on the map enough, it doesn't matter if their late game on paper is like potentially stronger or whatever. It's going to require Navi to make a mistake. Like Navi is going to have to try to high ground and like screw it up, or there's going to have to be like a smoke gank that MEGA-LADA play into some good team fight in order for them to really get a foothold in the game. Because just sitting in your base and hitting creeps, you'll never win.
And they have like the Ghetto Bat Rider and Dendi as well to make them like the high ground siege that much easier with the toss back. Like every time we've seen a toss back, it's just been so tragic for MEGA-LADA. They haven't been able to deal with it. And now they've also got a gem on General. So all that vision, all the advantage they were able to build up earlier is being taken away from them. They're going to look for something here, maybe a kill, but won't be able to find it.
I mean, Navi are starting to play a little bit more like on their own side of the map, which is a really good thing. The issue is that, you know, MEGA-LADA, they kind of lost their vision because of the gem, so it doesn't really matter that Navi's not there. They're still playing pretty scared, four sitting together, and Artes just taking the safe farm inside of the base, which, you know, that's the correct way to approach this. I think Navi are waiting for maybe another item on Crystallize since the Aegis is gone. Next Roshan is definitely on the menu. But in the meantime, you know, Fervian's got his Blink Dagger. There's a 10-second BKB on Gyro we have yet to really see be popped. And for the first time in quite a while, MEGA-LADA are outside on the map in force, and they will have Spectre Haunt for this too.
They do need to be careful. LeBron with an epicenter can make this really, really bad, and they actually scan, realize that there's somebody back there. So they're prepared. They're in position to try and save him. Orbit, maybe a little bit too close. He could get burrow struck there. They ping it out, and the tower's starting to fall. There's going to be the haunt. They realize that LeBron is over to the side. Now they've got him caught. The chase is going to commence now as they're able to find him and should be able to run him down to get the kill.
Yeah, but their base is getting murdered right now. They gotta go home.
Overgrowth, okay. Looking for Draskyl. There's the vacuum, the wall back onto 2. And that is going to force the rest of Dire back away. So, call down to try and deal with these creeps that are being ran forward by Crystallize. They are going to be able to save their towers just barely, as they actually pop the fortification for it the second time through now. And gonna see if they can kill it off in time. They got the heal though, and that tower is living for the moment. So if they can heal these back up, it's pretty good for Dire.
Honestly, at this point, if I was Crystallized, I would have just BKB'd to kill the tower. Like, even getting 1 tier 3 is really nice. He might be forced to pop it anyway.
Artes is chasing. There's a lot of damage right now on a Crystallize, and he is going to pop the Shapeshift now, ends up popping the BKB, now thinking about turning onto Artes. Dendi there as well, able to dodge away through the trees just barely. And now he does not have that free movement, but is in some trouble. Dendi Avatos ended up running to the wrong side of it, and now Dendi trying to escape. He is going to get rooted. They end up breaking it, finding the kill onto Dendi. So again, things starting to look a little bit better here for MEGA-LADA. They also have eyes on Crystallize. They've seen if they can slow him down a little bit, getting that added movement speed. They have the missile on a Crystallize as well. They end up taking over the troll and able to get him with the net. But do they really want to turn around onto this? I don't think so. LeBron ends up going forward. General vacuum again, but it's not quite enough. And BKB pops for the Gyro. Artes walks away as General trying to escape, and he has another missile on him there. The blink forward for more, as they are going to be able to chase down and most likely kill off this Darkseer over and away in the woods. Big plays there for MEGA-LADA.
Question is, does Fervian know they had a gem? Okay, he does. He blinks, grabs it. Oh my god, that's actually so bad. Ooh, that's a bad one for Navi. They lose a couple of cores, they lose their gem. Roshan's up. 40 seconds on General. I don't know if he wants to fly back to this, but they are definitely going to go for the attempt. And the crazy thing is, like, Spectre Haunt's up in 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and a DD spawns.
Oh, they wanted to deny it. They wanted to deny it with the wolves. It doesn't happen.
Oh my god, he didn't kill the rune. Well, they have Vision of the Pit. Alright, let's see how much they want to commit. Do they want to go in this? Oh, there's an Aghanims on Lil. There's an Aghanims on Lil. He can hit a 4-man storm here.
Alright, he's thinking about it. They have the blink available, but they're waiting some heroes outside of it. He has the repel available. There's going to be the turnaround. They're trying to bring it down. There's the Ags. It's on top of all of them. They're muted. They get the Guardian Angel off, though, and that means that they're going to be able to get away. It's a buyback for PSM as well. So he is going to be here for this fight, and if they dive too far forward, it's a little bit too scary. Dendi looking for an opening. They have Avatos available inside the Shadow Blade, but it's a bit too scary. And in the meantime, they end up taking down the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane. the creep wave pushing in that entire time.
This is becoming very problematic for Navi. I think they tried to bide their time for a little bit too long. That fight top was a complete disaster. And the timing of the fight couldn't have been any worse because they lost the fight and immediately Roshan spawned, and then a DD is in its, like, right outside of the pit, and like, come on, man, like, this can't be happening, right? Like, you can't lose this game. You cannot lose this game.
Insanity at the highest levels, and now Spectre, top net worth after being in poverty mode the whole time, has a Manta on top of Radiance and a Bit Booster going almost at a heart.
This is unbelievably bad news for Navi. The level 20 talent for Spectre is crazy. It's an additional 500 health. He's very close to that level 20 as well. And like you mentioned, the heart is going to be coming out soon. Like, I actually... If they lose this game, I will be very sad for them. I'll just say that.
A collection of, you know, bad luck and good plays is putting them in a rough situation.
It's not really luck. You got to say that MEGA-LADA played it correctly. Like, they found the opening. They're gonna go here on the Spectre.
He just got that talent though, and he is very tanky. They drop everything now, trying to take him down. But meanwhile, Omni Knight just comes and helps him out. He pops the cheese, and they don't have an answer at all for that. LeBron Dota trying to run away. He's dead. Double kill. Artis timed it perfectly.
Okay. This is full picnic mode now. This is...
Oh, and there's the haunt.
He has no BKB. Oh,
they don't have an answer.
God.
Artis is just going to run him down. They don't have any way to deal with this at all. Spectre is officially out of control.
Healing and hard.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Sometimes you play Dota and you should win, and you don't.
Is under attack.
Andy, he has 3,700 HP right now on the Spectre.
Yeah, this boy is fat. He's living the life. And he's gonna get that 25 probably pretty soon, considering how the fights have gone. Like, he catapulted from being like, what, 5th, 4th lowest net worth to just... He's sitting on top of the world right now, Gabe. He's doing it.
I mean, General's trying to split push here. You look at the drop in net worth and experience and the way that this is swung. Navi are still in the lead, 4,000 net worth in the lead, but you wouldn't know it from the way these fights are going. And General trying to push in this tower, has been healed up quite significantly by the tree. I mean, how do you kill the Spectre?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't even know.
I don't think they can. I legitimately don't think they have the damage anymore. Because a lot of the damage they deal is magic.
Right.
And Spectre doesn't really care that much about magic damage because dispersion, you know, it just, you have base magic resist obviously, and then the dispersion on top of it.
Right.
So you got to find a way to burst them, but if you do, you're just gonna die.
Now vacuum wall. The wall does not end up connecting onto the Spectre, and Artes is just gonna go absolutely nuts right now. They are almost able to take down Orbit though. They end up popping the Aegis one time. They're able to isolate and control the Omni Knight. He's dead. But Spectre, I don't know if they have an answer for it. They pop the Lycan ulti with the BKB. This is pretty good. The Burrow Strike through as well. The Epicenter, every damn thing dropped on top of Artes, and he just walks into the trees. They get the glimpse back though, and now they're gonna bring down the gyrocopter. So they do manage to find him. That would have been tragic. The buyback from Lil saving the day.
Yeah, honestly, man, I can't believe that they actually got the kill on him. That was so needed for Navi. The other part of it too is that a lot of the heroes on the side of MEGA-LADA had to back out, so it was a little bit of an overcommitment. You know, they get the tower, they almost get the full set of racks, but everyone has buyback. Like, they're still looking good. Like, Navi's lineup was one that was pretty much on a timer, and they didn't really get the contain that they wanted. MEGA-LADA were able to get outside of the base, they were able to make things happen. Navi made a couple of mistakes here and there. And especially that fight in the Dire Jungle where they lost a bunch of cores and a gem. That was the one that definitely, like, just blew the game wide open, because that pretty much guaranteed that they were going to get the next Roshan, and we know that that Rosh just, it kept them in the game. So now, probably going to be able to force a buyout here. Actually, maybe they sack one lane. We'll see what happens. He might save his buyout.
And they do find the root, at least at the start. Overgrowth to follow. Oh my god, the mute! It's on all of them! They did get the BKB off of the gyrocopter, but everybody is falling! 4 dead. They buy back now, need to run in and try and defend against this. They don't want to buy on the Spectre. Still 8 seconds away. And they're trying to hold on to these barracks the best of this ability. They do have Haunt when it comes back in. There's the GA keeping that gyro alive, and now he's still sticking around. The Haunt comes out, and Navi just trying to run. They don't have Static Storm. Are they going to be able to find any more of these kills? A good glimpse, and that means that they can't chase for any more.
Well, the Spectre didn't have to buy back, so that's definitely something. He did use the Haunt. That was a very nicely timed glimpse by Lil. Normally, glimpse against Spectre Haunt is not that useful because you get glimpse, but you still have your illusions, right? So you can just hop right back into the fight anyway. Right. He waited until the duration of the Haunt was going to end before he threw out the glimpse, because then he knows that the hero is not going to be able to immediately get back in. And now, looks like Navi are poised to potentially go for this Rax.
That's pretty slick. He's a pretty good player.
He ain't bad.
He ain't bad. He ain't bad. So Artez, again, the guy here is just running at Lil. He's daring any of them to try and come up with an answer. He's walking at LeBron. They're going to glimpse him away. Everybody just trying to run away. Artez realized you can't do anything to me right now. Ultis are on cooldown. Static Storm actually is back up again. Need to be a little bit careful about this. There's the vacuum wall. Static Storm on all of them. The epicenter as well. They end up blowing up the tree. So no tree in this fight, but they do manage to get the rock off from the Warlock. Disruptor gone. That's a dieback. And now they've caught Crystallized as well. He wants to run, wants to hide. Nowhere left to go. He's dead too. That's 2 dead, 3 dead. 2 of them with no buyback.
They noticed the gem too. Okay, so gem reclaimed. Wait, is that? No, that's their own gem. Okay, so they lost a gem. Navi took it. Now they got that one back, and Navi still maintains their own gem. Yeah, there's a lot of gems. Butterfly up on this gyro too, man. Even he's getting fat. Like at this point, like Artez is making his way towards BKB. I think it's a pretty good choice. The problem is if he eats a Static Storm, obviously Lil has the Aghanims, so he needs to be very careful about that. But there's no buyback on Crystallize either. Is it cooldown?
It looks like it is not. 100 gold. Oh no, Crystallize. Say it ain't so. And, yeah, well, the Strike, they do have the Spectre Illusion, which is pretty terrifying. That's probably the biggest hero that Navi have right now. Another one created, and they are going to finish off that last set of racks. But still tier 1's alive in the top lane.
There's like nothing about this game that makes any sense to me anymore. Like, I look at this lineup on Dire and I go, how the heck do you last long enough to get a Spectre farm in this game?
Yeah.
But hey, man, they're doing it. They're making the plays. They're keeping the dream alive. Fervian actually has a second item. That's a Pog champ.
Hey, look at him go.
Look, I like to look at the support players and give them a little bit of a morale boost. It can be rough even on the winning team playing like a 4 and a 5.
No, definitely. You gotta take those. He's been having a good game though. There was the one missed break on the epicenter that you saw from LeBron, but by and large, I've been pretty impressed with Fervian's play so far. Always like to see tree. Not often seen nowadays.
Yeah, we saw it I think once in the last couple of days. I could have swore we saw another tree game.
Okay.
But yeah, this situation right now, smoke up from MEGA-LADA. They got the Spectre Haunt again. They're just looking for a battle. It looks like they're gonna maybe find LeBron here.
Oh, that's a rough one. And they're not even gonna need to use Hawk for that. LeBron had a nullifier, but it is an Abyssal Blade done for the Spectre.
The other thing about this game too that's crazy is if you look at when Navi were pushing top, like not even 5 minutes ago, they had like a 12k net worth lead.
Right.
And now it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like it just evaporated as soon as they lost like the 1 or 2 kind of skirmishes, then the mid-rax falls, and it's like the game just keeps going back and forth when it really feels to me like Navi should have been able to seal this at like 20 to 25 minutes. I think that would have been like an optimal timing. But now, you know, Artez, he's got a full Abyssal Blade, man. He's just absolutely huge. Interestingly enough, he didn't take the Dispersion talent, though. He took the Haunt Illusion damage. I don't really have a lot of experience with, like, how good it actually is, because I hadn't played Spectre, because you can't play him in pubs. It's just, like, it's impossible.
Yeah.
And no one really picks his hero, so we'll see how good it is, I guess.
Now, Crystallize, they're going to be able to get away. Although, no, he's not.
Man.
There's the Abyssal. Oh, Crystallized dead then. Oh, God, that feels real bad. And he does have buyback this time. It's pretty nifty because it means you now do 80% of your original hero's damage with each of your illusions from Haunt. So if you have like enough attack speed, if you end up like being able to isolate anybody, it's a ton of damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not bad. I mean, if it was bad, he would take it.
Right.
But it's just normally you see the dispersion talent because it increases the effectiveness of the skill by like, what, 40% or so?
Yeah. Oh, there's a haunt. They're going to do a lot of damage to these guys here. Almost dead already as LeBron tries to burrow strike out, and he is going to get the nullifier off, but nothing really else. And Artis is just walking at these guys. Nobody else from his team around. Fervian is going to be there now. Can go for a blink, try to get the stun. It's going to be able to instead go for the lead seed. And Dendi left in a bad way. Do they have Abyssal Blade back up again in a sec? Doesn't look like it. But they get the bash nonetheless. And, well, with that, Dendi likely to fall. He's still running away. Vacuum. All right, they keep him alive. But now they can focus on this tier 3 tower. Avatos. Don't get the kill. Purification came out there. Dendi's still trying to defend, but this is feeling impossible. No buyback on the Sand King. No buyback on Lil. They don't have these ultimates that they need to take these heroes down, and right now, MEGA-LADA don't even care about Roche. They just want to end this game.
I mean, that Spectre Illusion's probably the best shot they got right now. That thing is strong.
Yeah. Well, vacuum wall again, Avatos, Guardian Angel comes out, and they drop the rock as well, and now trying to run, rooted for the moment, crystallized. Didn't quite manage to get that Abyssal Blade off on him, but it doesn't matter, because these are racks going down, mega creeps, MEGA-LADA from the verge of defeat, hold high ground, and we're gonna finish this game number 1 off.
You know, in every game like this, Gabe, there's a good play and there's a bad play, right? A good play by the team that was behind in order to utilize the advantage that the enemy gave them, and then there's a bad play in that you had like a 15k net worth lead against a Spectre who didn't even have a single completed item, and you didn't win the game.
Yeah.
So that's a tough pill to swallow if you're Navi. I thought for sure they would be able to steal this game, but it turns out that they just didn't feel confident in going high ground. Even with the Lycan, they didn't really want to... I thought as soon as they finished BKB on Crystallize, he had the Aegis. Like, the timing was pretty close, so maybe they felt like, okay, one more Roche, and then we'll go. But the problem is they never got a second Roche.
Yeah.
They lost a team fight, which made them lose that Roche, and then the game just completely spiraled out of control. So, yeah, going into Game 2, I don't really think that their draft was bad by any means. I thought that their draft was fine. There's nothing wrong with Navi's drafting.
Right.
Just gotta end the game if you're gonna play against a team like this.
Yeah, it felt like sort of just that inability to end it, and I don't know if that was like... I don't even know necessarily what to say about how that works. Like, I guess just not everybody being on the same page and then getting caught out in a team fight. It felt like they had the contain going, they had everything working for them, and then it just, like, it fell apart at some point. But anyways, that's going to do it for game number 1. We still have another series after this one, and then another series after that one, but we have one more game potentially. I'm expecting Navi to come back in this one and take game number 2 because they have been looking very, very solid, and we'll see if it ends up happening or not, or if MEGA-LADA are able to 2-0. Stick around, everybody. More to come in the MDL qualifiers right after this.